Hi guys, welcome to my channel. It's been a long time since I came here on YouTube and spoke to you guys. I'm a lot more active on Instagram. That's where I do a lot of videos regularly, a lot of updates, my bridal content, everything you will find there. So if you guys are already following me there, I'm glad to connect with you. If not, please do check out my profile. So recently I got a bunch of K-beauty products. They did have a couple of new launches like the foundation, the powder and the eyeshadow palette. So I was very keen to try them all out. I thought, why not do like a full face of K-beauty? Well, almost. They still don't have a couple of products in their range like concealer and things like that. So those I was able to substitute with other brands, but wherever possible I've only used K-beauty products. So most of these are going to be first impressions. I have not tried those products. I do have a couple of K-beauty products that I have bought in the past and I've used. For example, the kohl pencil, then the contour stick. Those were products that I have bought in the past. As and when I try these products, I'm going to be talking you guys through on my thoughts, and if there are products in this kit which I've tried in the past, I will definitely be giving you like a mini review. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is clip my hair back because we're going to be doing the base. I'm taking the NYX Angel Veil primer since K-beauty does not have a primer, and I'm using this to smoothen the texture and fill in the pores on the center of my face. It looks a little weird and it looks like I have a mustache, but we will blend that. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and blend it out, spreading it and pushing the primer into the pores and just creating a nice smooth base for the foundation. Next, I'm taking the K-beauty Hydrating Foundation. It's literally out of the packaging now. It took a couple of pumps to get the product out, so it's going to be a first impression. I got this in the shade 155 White Tan. I literally just eyeballed it and I picked up this particular foundation. It could have been a hit or miss, but then this matched me beautifully. The Y stands for yellow, which is meant for warm skin tone. I am warm skinned, so I prefer something that matches my undertone. You can literally see how well it matches me over here. It's pretty lightweight. It's got medium coverage, a little less than medium coverage I would say, because it didn't really cover any of the spots on my face, but it did give me like a nice even base to conceal further. So I'm really happy with how this looked and how it felt on the skin. It was pretty comfortable. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add a little bit more. I took 2 pumps of this foundation and I think it was pretty much enough to cover the entire face. If you're someone who likes fuller coverage, then this particular foundation is something you might not like. For an everyday wear, this looks like second skin. Let me show you guys a quick close-up before moving on to concealer. For concealer, I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way concealer and using it just under the eyes to conceal my dark circles. I'm going for a really light base, so I'm not really going overboard with my concealer. And whatever's left on the sponge, I'm using it to prep my eyelids as well. The next K-beauty product that I'm going to be using is their loose powder. This is in the shade Banana. It's a tad bit lighter for my skin tone, so I only use it on the center of my face, just set the concealer. It's really nice. The powder is finely milled and it has a tint of yellow that just brightens up. The next product I have is the contour stick in the shade Coco Focus. This is not a first impression. I've been using this product for the last 1 year at least, and I love this contour. It just blends beautifully. It's very easy to apply and blend even with your fingers. It just literally takes minutes for me to be done with my contouring, so I really like this particular product from K-beauty. If you're new to contouring or you're not very confident with contouring, just try and work section by section instead of applying the product in one go, because if the product dries up on the face, it can become very difficult to blend it out. So just take each section, apply it and blend it immediately, so you'll find it a lot easier to go about it. The next product we have is the compact powder. I got this in the shade 170 Tan and I'm using this to set the rest of my base. I'll definitely show you guys the shade towards the end of the video. I really don't have a major opinion about this yet because I was using this on top of a foundation. Next we have the matte blush in the shade Soft Nude. This is such a gorgeous color. I bet this would work really well across skin tones from fair to dusky, and I love the fact that this is so pigmented. A little goes a long way, and I love how this beautifully blends on the skin. No trouble at all. We're moving on to eyeshadow, and I picked the Wild and Free variant. It has a lot of cool and warm tone browns, some plummy tones, some bronze, there's a pitch black there, and an olive green. So the color story is pretty interesting. The other two variants seemed a little more cliched, for lack of a better word, so I wanted to give this palette a try. First, I'm picking up the shade Caramel on a fluffy blending brush and putting that on my crease and basically creating a shape for the eye look. I'm building this up quite a bit. I started blending it as I picked it up, but that didn't seem to work, so I am now packing it as much as possible and blending it so I can get a nice color on the crease. You can see I'm actually struggling to build up this particular color. I thought this as a brown, this would really perform well on the eyes, but it took a bit of going back and forth, picking up more shade and building it up on the crease. Once I finally got that crease color on, I'm picking up the shade Wood, which is a darker brown, and sort of intensifying the outer V. So I'm laying down the shade on top of the crease color a little bit and also defining my outer V. I was expecting to go a little more smoky with the brown. I just feel like the mattes, they look really nice and they blend nicely, but in terms of pigmentation, they're a lot lesser. It's not a bad thing, you can always build up the color, but I felt like with these colors, I had to go back in quite a few times to intensify it on the eyes. Next, I'm taking the shade Plum, which is not a matte, not a shimmer. It's got a satin finish. It's got specks of shimmer particles in them, and it looks really gorgeous. I'm building up the crease with this particular color and adding to the brown because that brown didn't really do much. So I'm just adding this to, you know, sort of elevate the look a little bit. Now the look was taking a different turn, so since I added the plum shade, I picked up this shade Wine, which is a proper shimmer shadow, and I was really excited to try this out. And this seems like a shadow that works really well with a brush. This really reminds me of the MAC shimmer shadows, which perform very well with the help of a flat brush. But even with that, I was not able to build up the intensity. My metallic shadows, shimmer shadows, need to pack a lot of punch. It needs to pop on the eyelids. That's the way I like it. But even after building it up a couple of times, I just felt like it was pretty subtle. If you are someone who enjoys subtle eye looks, this might be for you. But for me, this was just not doing it. So I went ahead and wet my brush with the help of a setting spray, hoping to intensify the shimmer shadow a little more. It did work. It is looking a little bit better, but not as much as the shimmer shadows of other eyeshadow palettes. So far, we're not sure where this is going. Next, I'm taking the shade Ebony, which is a beautiful matte black color. I'm using this to smoke out the outer V a little bit more. Like I mentioned, the brown didn't do much, so I'm adding this black to the outer V and smoking out the outer corner, and also like bringing like a smoked out liner. This is probably the only shade that I didn't have to build up too much or go back in a couple of times to build this up. It was quite dark and deep as black, and it's a really nice matte black shadow. Moving on, I'm going to use the kohl pencil in the shade Spade. This is one of my first buys from K-Beauty, and I love this kohl pencil. It's pretty long lasting, it's smudge proof, it stays on the eyes long enough. I've not had any issues with particular kajal. I am lining the upper and lower waterline with this kajal pencil. I'm adding the black shadow to the lower waterline and smoking it out a little and connecting it to the outer V. I'm adding some mascara since I don't own a K-Beauty mascara. This is just a random mascara that was lying on the table, and I just used that to coat my upper and lower lashes. Also don't own a K-Beauty highlighter, so I'm taking the Master Chrome by Maybelline and highlighting the higher planes of my face. That's the top of the cheekbones, the brow bone, a bit of the forehead, bridge of the nose, Cupid's bow, and the chin. Next, I'm taking the matte action lip liner in the shade Fame to line my lips. I'm just gonna outline the lips with this particular shade. It's a gorgeous dark brown, which will just work for pretty much any lip combo. You can just use this lip liner and take any lipstick and you're good to go. I really like this shade. It was a good buy. It's creamy, pigmented, and quite comfortable on the lips. You can wear this on your own. I love these lip liners and I have a bunch of those, which I will talk about in the end. Next, I'm taking the Matteinee lipstick in the shade Melodrama. It's a cool toned mauve shade, and I'm just putting that in the center of my lips and just dabbing it. Somehow this shade gives me a metallic finish. I don't know what it is about this particular shade, but I didn't like it. So I'm moving on and I'm picking on the shade Chartbuster. It's a really pretty dark brown lipstick. I figured it will go really well with the Fame lip liner. They're a great combination. I'm quickly going to highlight the inner corner with the same highlighter just to complete the eye look. And we're done. So this is the finished look. Let me know what you guys think. I definitely like K-Beauty as a brand. The first ever product that I purchased from them was the Kohl pencil, which I love, and I still use it. It is part of my personal kit. So this is one of my favorite products. Next is definitely the contour stick. So these were my first two buys from K-Beauty and I just loved it. So I have a high regard for this particular brand. So, you know, for me, I expected pretty much all of these products to do well, but the eyeshadow for me was a disappointment. Maybe it's the variant, I'm not sure. I like eyeshadow palettes which have their shimmers are a lot more pigmented and they work well on the eyelids, like they pop. For me, this particular shade, I had to build it up quite a bit and then I had to wear it with a brush. So not something that I'm quite impressed with. Even the matte shadows, like the black was amazing, but the some of the transition colors and everything, I had to build it up quite a bit, go back in and build it up. So that's not something I'm kind of happy about. Plus in this palette, I would have expected at least one highlighting shimmer shade, which is not there. Like this is a matte shadow, but this doesn't really pop on my skin. If it was a lot fairer, maybe it would have definitely highlighted. This particular one is a much darker brown shade, which will work well for dusky skin tone, but this doesn't highlight for me. I really like these shadows. The matte shadows were really nice, but they had to be built up quite a bit, especially these two. The black, however, was absolutely outstanding. Maybe I should try the other variants and see whether they perform differently. It could be just that the color scheme of this particular palette didn't work. The foundation is something I absolutely love. It looks just like skin and I think that's great for everyday wear. I want to see how this performs on my skin because I am oily. I am not sure how well a hydrating foundation is going to stay on my skin. I'm guessing I might get oily quite a bit, but I love the fact that the finish is so natural and pretty much like 1.5 pumps and I got a pretty decent coverage. So the foundation is an absolute win for me. So is the loose powder which I got in the shade Banana. I remember the first time I got the shade Latte, which is not with me right now. That one is supposed to be my exact skin tone. That somehow didn't really fit well for me. So I prefer the shade Banana, which is a little highlighting. So I only use this on the centers of my face. My other two favorites are the Compact. Great range. I do believe they have a variety of shades in this one, so definitely check it out. I use that to set the whole of my face and it works beautifully. I want to see how the combination of the foundation and the powder look on my skin, so I'm going to wait for a couple of hours and then remove this makeup. And definitely I love these matte blushes. I'm definitely going to be purchasing more colors in this particular one. The soft nude is just one of my favorites. And of course the lipstick. So I have like a bunch of colors in these. I did not get to show you guys while I was doing the look because Fame is the one that I used in the look today. You guys saw how that looks like. And then apart from that, I have these two shades called Extra and Unleash. Let me show you guys. This is definitely a lot lighter for my skin tone. That's extra, and that's Unleash. So these two shades are a lot lighter for my skin tone, so it definitely washes me out. So these two are colors that I picked up to be added to my bridal kit. So they're not for my own purpose, so I would use these probably on lighter skin toned brides and clients of mine, and it would look gorgeous. I love the formulation, so that is why I picked up like multiple colors, in the shade range is pretty decent to pretty wearable. And of course I used the shade Chartbuster in this look, so you guys can see that on my lips. It's amazing. It's a really nice brown. Of late I've been gravitating a lot more towards browns, dark browns, nude browns, everything. And of course I got another shade called Melodrama. This is something, you know, I've been trying to make the shade work for me, but it doesn't look as flattering on my skin tone with or without makeup. So whenever without makeup, this just looks pretty muddy, and with makeup it just makes my lips look pretty dark. I don't really like that. But these are the products that I have. Except Melodrama and the eyeshadow, I pretty much love all of the K-beauty products that I purchased. If there's anything specific you guys would like me to try out, please do let me know in the comments. I hope you guys liked this video. If you were thinking of purchasing any of K-beauty products, and I hope I was able to help you, please do share your feedback in the comment section, and I will try to be more active here. See you. Bye bye.